cross-check here. The whole world is watching. Malaysia on August 29 and 30th. Malaysia must not fail the global test of human rights, democracy and good governance, so as not to head towards a rogue and a failed state. Malaysians should have had enough of bad news in the past weeks and months, with the Malaysian ringgit becoming shrinking, sinking to a 17-year low of 4.2680 to a US dollar at 10:17 a.m. today, and taken off notice boards of money changes overseas with the notation POA or price on application because of extreme volatility. Malaysia's foreign exchange reserves fell 19% since the start of the year, dipping below the US $100 billion for the first time last month since 2010, falling to US $94.5 billion on August 14 from $96.7 billion on July the 31st. The KL stock market has also crashed. Capital outflows from the country are accelerating to 3 times the size of capital investments in the country in the first quarter. These are not the only woes Malaysia is facing, as there is a multiple crisis of confidence affecting not just the economy, but also about good governance and democracy in Malaysia. The police should end all semantics about the legality or otherwise of Bersih 4 overnight rally on August the 29th and 30th, and be guided by Suhakam, which has stressed that the police have no power to ban any peaceful gathering and must instead protect the participants. There are no doubt irresponsible elements out to create trouble and mischief at the Bersih 4 overnight rally, which is expected to draw bigger crowds than Bersih 1, 2 and 3. Kuala Lumpur should be turned into an ocean of yellow on August 29 and 30th. Not by Malaysians who want to disrupt peace, create chaos and provoke violence, but because they want peacefully, democratically and constitutionally express their concerns about the state of the economy, democracy and good governance in Malaysia. All supporters of Bersih will be disciplined to keep the peace at the Bersih 4 overnight rally. But there will be troublemakers who will be assigned to breach the peace and even provoke violence. What the police should now focus on is to cooperate with the Bersih 4 organizers and security personnel to ensure that these agent provocateurs are not allowed to disrupt the peaceful, democratic and constitutional expression of Bersih 4 to save the country from being a rogue and a failed state. The police and Bersih participants must be on the lookout for these agent provocateurs and take all necessary action to prevent them from disrupting Bersih 4. In fact, if there are Bersih 4 participants who act disorderly, which disrupt the peaceful nature of Bersih 4, all other Bersih 4 participants should exercise their citizenship duties to stop them from further mischief. Let the successful holding of Bersih 4 overnight rally be the beginning of a national healing process to recover from the multitude of political, economic, good governance and nation-building crisis. Let Malaysians prove the Urban Wellbeing, Housing and Local Government Minister Abdul Rahman Tahan wrong. The Bersih 4 rally will have an adverse impact on the economy in an already challenging economic environment. In a series of tweets, Abdul Rahman said, ultimately ordinary Malaysians will become the victims if the economy is affected. The Bersih 4 timing is bad. Malaysians are losing billions in jobs. Don't stoke the economic fire even more. Be responsible. Postpone it. Bersih 4 should be wise. This is a time for calm and compromise and composure in light of the global economic meltdown, even just for a few weeks. That is Abdul Rahman's tweet. On the contrary, if Malaysians, involving the government and citizenry, can successfully hold the biggest rally in the nation's history to demonstrate the unity, the resolve and the commitment of Malaysians, regardless of race, religion, age, gender or politics, to want to end the nation-building, political, economic and good governance crisis, it can be the beginning of a vicious cycle, it can be the beginning of a virtuous cycle to save Malaysia from sliding the slope towards a rogue and a failed state. I just want to add item before I open to the floor. we're having an economic crisis. And I think one way to resolve this economic crisis is for Najib to immediately slash government expenditure. And one way to do it would be to slash his jumbo cabinet and start with the Prime Minister's office. There are 11 ministers in the PM's department, which is bigger than the 1957 Merdeka cabinet of Tun Abdul Rahman. When Malaysia achieved independence in 1957, our cabinet will only 10 ministers. But now, in the Prime Minister's department, you have 11 ministers. I think you slash by half, reduce the 19 billion. The annual budget for the PMO is 19 billion, slash by half to about 10 billion, involving slashing, sacking or removing half of the ministers, half of the 11 ministers in the PMO, reducing to 5. I think that will be the beginning of a serious program for Malaysia to face the economic crisis. That is important because otherwise we will continue to be seen, the government will continue to be seen to be extravagant, to be completely irresponsible in its expenditures, and we are not yet talking about other aspects like corruption and other aspects. Over to you. Any questions?
How do you think this Bersih is different from the previous Bersih rallies? And what is the expected outcome of this rally from DAP's side?
I think the Bersih has become even bigger than 1, 2, 3, and even bigger than what the Bersih 2 organizers have envisaged originally, because of the country's straits. We are now facing a grave economic crisis, grave political crisis, grave good governance crisis, a grave nation-building crisis. I mean, the question now is to save the nation. And I think it is symbolic of what all Malaysians are concerned about. In fact, everywhere you go now, people are asking, what's happening in this country? Ringgit no value already. And what's the future? So I think that's a question in the minds of everyone, regardless of race, regardless of religion, regardless of politics. In fact, I think in this Bersih 4, all Malaysians can come out, regardless of race. In fact, all members of all political parties, from past, even by UMNO, 3 million UMNO members can come out. I think there will be a great demonstration of the unity, of the resolve and commitment of Malaysians that we must unite to tide over our present crisis. So I would say that the one overall overarching theme of this Bersih will be to save the nation. Save the nation through the 5 principles that the Bersih have enunciated. Fair and free elections, transparency, and clean government, and all that. And overarching all those 5 objectives will be to save the country. The country is in danger of becoming a rogue state where there is no rule of law, the human rights are disregarded, and becoming a failed state because look at our ringgit, look at our stock market, look at our foreign reserves, look at our foreign money exiting, fleeing the country.